Hello everyone, welcome back. Alright, so today we're going to do some stuff. We're going to put in the bobbin assembly, which I have laying there. We're going to put in, I believe, the tension assembly and the cover plates, the needle plate and the bobbin cover plate. I think that'll be a good video. Alright, first thing we're going to do is, let me move this camera over a little bit. Alright, so now, I never fully disassembled this because that screw was in there so tight and it was pretty good shape. So I cleaned it all, it's working great. So the first thing I have to do is, I have to get this, where are we, right here. I have to get this little spring on here. And the way it goes is, it hooks right over there, like that. See that? So you kind of tweak it a little, so it sits on there. Then there's a little tiny screw. Let me get that screw set first. Alright, put that back on. Snug it up. Okay. So now, let's come over to here. Let's see if I can give you a better look. Be better with this light on or off? Maybe off. Alright. So we're going to place this back in. Oh, I put the new piece of felt in when you saw me disassemble that. And we're going to put a little oil on this. Get that saturated. Now we're going to slip this down in here. Just kind of let it float in there. Now we're going to get the actual part that the bobbin holds. Again, I don't know all the names, but this little presser has to go underneath that. Let me see what's happening here. There you go, right there. Then I have this, I'm going to have Sewing Machine Rehab's video in the description. But the one she's working on is a little different. And I had to search, I believe it was a video by Bob Fowler that showed with this pin here, instead of a screw going down. But, yeah. Alright, so this pin drops in this hole here. Whoop. Make sure I get it lined up. Come on now. It wants to go in. There it is. Well, maybe not. Man, I see the hole. It's not going in. Very fiddly. There it is. Okay. So now that pin is in. And then you have this little springy thing that the edge goes over that post, the top of the post. Then you have a little screw here that goes in right here. All right, let me get a bigger bit. Snug that up. Okay, now let me drop the camera down. We have this screw right here that locks that pin in. And see if I can get a light on it. See that hole right there? That's where that pin goes. I want to tighten that. Let me slide this a little bit so I can get at it. Okay, now when we press this, it'll pop the bobbin out. All right, we're going to call that good. Next thing we're going to put in is this little spring that, oh, I'm supposed to put that in. Oh no, it fits in there. I'm going to have to take this little part off because the screw is underneath it. Dagnabbit. Should have put that spring in first. No problem. I can loosen this. Take that screw out. I should be able to pop this off. There you go. All right. Now, let's get that spring in. Get this screw right here. Hey, hey. Get in there. Very fiddly. Okay. Now, one thing that I noticed, let me see if I can get in there a little closer. Okay, make sure this has a little bit of play. Make sure it's kind of equidistant from both ends. Like right about there. Let's hold it. Put this screw tighter. Okay, that looks good. All right, let's put this back. Again, just slips over the end here. And then the screw goes back in. All right, now, next thing we're going to do is, we got this little screw, I guess it's for better, lack of a better term, like a stop screw. It presses against that little post that we put in. So now we're going to lift the machine up, and hopefully you can see it. Right there is a hole, and that's where this goes. Press it in. It doesn't screw all the way in. I mean, the threads aren't all the way in. Whoops. Let me get my finger here. Okay. All right, that all seems to be working. So let's see. I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the feed dog back. Let me clean this little area up, and then we'll get that done. All right, we are going to put the bobbin cover plate back on. You want to come in this direction. Never pull it off from the front, okay? It should slip over those springs. There you go. Okay. Now, let me take this needle out. We don't really need that in. Ooh. Okay. Now we're going to take our feed dogs. And there's a slot. Let's see if I can get in there. The slot is right here. And this should just drop down right in there. Okay. Now we need to, let me get the needle out of the way. We need to put the screw in from the bottom. All right, let's get this off of here. Let's move this out of the way. We drop this. Okay, drop that. Okay. The screw goes in right there. So let's see if we can get her started. Woo. Alright, so we got the screw started. Let's, let me get my stubby. Whoa, I'm dropping all kinds of stuff here. Let's get a bit, fits that. That'll work. Now, it'll still move up and down a little bit. There's a little bit of play. I know I just created a shadow there, but I'm just going to snug up this screw. Okay, just barely snugged up. Let me drop that down. I'm going to kind of drop it down even to the bottom to start with. Okay. We flip it back over. Let me put this little board on here. Now, let's see, drop it down. Let me get my needle cover, slip this on here. And I'm going to want to see how far up. Ooh, look at that, they're hitting. Aha, something moved. I think it's hitting in the front here. Hold on. What am I hitting? Something is hitting. Yeah, something's binding. All right, let me take that back off because something is binding. I'm not sure what it is. All right, let me get that off. All right. Whoa. All right, we got that feed dog out. Let's turn this back over and see what happened. Okay, this is turning freely now. Let's drop this back in. Okay, that's moving good. Let's turn it back over and try that again. Let me add an extension on this. Okay, let's flip her over. Nope. So it hits on this downstroke. All right, I'm gonna have to check that out. I gotta get this camera out of my face. I'll be right back. Okay, so the feed dog was too low. And it was binding on the bobbin case. So now we're going to take our needle plate, we're going to place that there, And we're going to look on how much the feed dog is coming up. And from what I know, the little V cutouts along here, the bottom of the V cutout should just be even with this plate, which it actually looks like it is. So we're going to call that good. And what I'm going to do is snug up that screw. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while, huh? Okay. Pretty cool. So we got that all in. It's working good. Now, let's put, oh, we could screw this in now. Where's my screws? There's going to be adjustments that are going to have to be made for the bobbin and I'm just trying to get it in the general area. Okay, where'd that other screw go? Dagnabbit. Right in front of my face. Let's get the pressure bar out of the way. Come on now. All right, let me tighten them down. Think this will fit? Nope. There you go. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to put in, let me flip this around. Is the pressure foot. That's pretty easy peasy, lemon squeezy. If I can hold on to it. All right, I'll put this on here, and then there's a little screw. Thumb screw goes in there. All right, so we got that on. Excuse me. All right, next thing we're gonna do, let me get all this away from this side. Whoa. Okay. We're gonna put in the tension assembly. Now, if you remember when I took this out, I couldn't figure out how to get it out. I have not seen a video with this exact configuration because they're all different, okay? So I don't even know how to align this. But what I'm gonna do is, let me see if I can get the set screws started. get my stubby. It feels like it's cross-threading. Okay, so I just want to get that started. Then we're going to flip this around again. Okay, so what I'm going to do when I align this, now this barrel just slides right in here. Okay, we have this pin. Did I lose it? Oh, here it is. We have this pin, okay? So this is going to slide right into the barrel. Let me bring it up. Okay, so again, without knowing where this exactly goes as far as being pushed in, what I'm going to do is, you see the hole right there? I'm going to align this spring up, the bottom of that spring up, to try to be totally centered on that hole. And let me see if the set screw fits into the slot. Okay, that looks like it's in. All right, let's see what happens now. All right. Again, I don't know how to do any adjustments yet. I don't know what that pin does. Let's see. We got a little. I don't know, everything seems to be working. I obviously going to have to do some adjustments. I have to get some thread on there and see what's going on. Because I know the one that, oh, I have to restart this because this is. I've been messing around with my older camera versus using my phone. I mean, that might be better. And this thing only records like 9.5 minutes and it shuts off. So yeah, I know there's going to be adjustments needed. Again, this is my first one. In the video, all the videos I saw, there was an adjustment screw on the inside here that you use to adjust the tension on this. So I have no clue. We will get to that a little later on. Right now, we'll continue getting this all together. Okay, it was bugging me that I didn't know exactly how that worked. The little pin inside the tension assembly. And I went on YouTube and I was watching myself take it apart and watching somebody put it back together, Bob Fowler. And I realized I put this back together wrong when I put the assembly wrong on. So what I did was, let me take this nut off. The beehive spring, and this little plate, I had the spring on first and then I put this plate on. That's wrong. This goes on first, then the spring goes on, and then you could put your nut back on. Now, when I tighten this down, and I put this back in a position where it looked like it was in my video, we might still have to adjust that. But now, if you look right, let me see if I can point to it. Look right here, you'll see when I lift the presser foot, that comes out. See it? That's what that pin is doing. It's pushing that out. So that releases the tension. So again, I may have to tighten it, I may have to loosen it, we'll have to see when we get to that. But I just wanted to add that in there in case anybody was watching and going, no, you got that wrong. All right, back to our regularly scheduled program. Next, we are going to put on the cover. What did I do with the screw? Oh no. Oh no. Found it. Okay. So we have 2 screws. Now in the one I saw Jen do, this pin that held that, I don't know what it's called, but held that piece in with the spring on it, her pin stuck out and this plate went onto the pin. This one does not have that. It has a screw on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is, back up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to start this screw. And this should slip underneath it, which it does. And then this one should go right in that hole. Okay. Let's snug that down. Snug this down. Wow. Let's see if this, whoo, man, shining off of that, huh? Well, there you go. It's starting to look like a machine again. Dang. Woo, look at that. All right. The only other thing that's left is to put the light, motor, and bobbin winder back. Wow, I mean, we're getting down to the wire here. That's so cool. I'm kind of excited. All right, so we'll call it an end to this one. You know I'm going to say it. I'm sending you all much, much love and appreciation, my brothers and sisters. Thanks for coming along. I hope you all are doing well, and we'll see you on the next one.